Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by the newly crowned WBO Welterweight World Champion, Brian Norman Jr. Brian, how are you, mate? I mean, I can see the smile on your face. It's been a good couple of days for you so far.
Yeah, it been a great couple of days so far. Like you just said, I'm the new world champion officially, so nothing could be better right now.
Definitely, obviously, bit of a crazy 48 hours for yourself. Obviously, you had the interim title that you won against Giovanni Santillian, but I mean, it must have
hmm
been a really nice feeling to kind of get the news that you're now full world champion, mate.
Yeah, it's wonderful to receive that news that I'm the real deal champion. So now it's time for Norman takeover. It's time for us to going to get all these other belts and going to wrap this division up.
Definitely. Before we get into kind of what's next, I do want to kind of recap on the Santillan fight. Obviously, I caught up on it
hmm
again. I mean, knockout of the year contender, but I do want to read on a quote that you said to Top Rank before the fight. You said something along the lines of, I'm approaching this like my life, it's the fight of my life. I have bills to pay. I'm sure you're going to see a career best performance from myself. I mean, you said that before the fight, and boy, did you deliver on that night. I mean, how do you reflect
hmm
on that win against Giovanni Santillan?
I mean, I said it was premeditated. I already told you beforehand what I was about to do, and I don't like to just talk. I like to get stuff done as well. So looking back on it, it's still the same going into my next fight as well. My whole career is I've got the whole world against me. I feel like everybody they wait for me to lose. I'm the weakest link for 147. That's how everybody thinks since I'm the youngest. So going into every fight, I got the same attitude.
Definitely. I mean, you might be a little bit biased, but is that the knockout of the year so far?
Of course, I'm gonna say yes, but I'm not gonna lie. I just seen. I don't know if it was this weekend that just passed or the weekend before that, but it was a real nasty knockout on Top Rank as well. So that's a real good contender as well.
Definitely. I mean, when I posted the news on my Instagram that the WBO posted that you were elevated and Terence Crawford vacated. I mean, I pressed on
hmm
who had I saw it was getting loads of likes. We don't normally get that many likes about this type of
Yeah.
news, and I saw. I mean, a lot of your fans were kind of sharing the news, promoting you, kind of, and there was a particular person's name that was being mentioned alongside it, Brian, as well. But how did it feel to kind
hmm
of have that level of support for you becoming new world champ?
It's new to me. I can definitely tell you that it's new to me. I'm always looked at as the underdog, the kid that nobody likes, all of that kind of stuff. So, actually seeing people saying they support me, they seen where I come from, they respecting my grind, they respecting my hustle. I'm loving all of it, and in order to keep that, I got to do the same thing or even more.
You definitely do as well. Obviously, that particular person who is being mentioned alongside your name is a particular Teofimo Lopez. You mentioned it's the Brian Norman
Mhm.
takeover now. I mean, you're both with top
Yeah,
rank. Teofimo said he wants to move up in weight. I mean, it makes sense for that fight to be next.
most definitely. I know he said he was wanting Crawford for his belt, but now I got the belt. So, like you just said, we both with top rank. He with WBO at 140. I'm at WBO at 147. We could definitely make that happen. Make that fight happen. If not this year, we could do next year.
Definitely kind of how does a fight go down between yourself and Teofimo Lopez?
I feel like it'll be a great fight. We are both I ain't gonna say naturally talented, but we both are hardworking individuals. Both put our time in. Both got the skills and the talent to do whatever we got to do to get the win. But I know for a fact, don't nobody do what I do. Don't nobody put the work in that I do. They don't put the time in like I do. No matter how hard you work, trust me, I got one more than you. So that's how I feel like going into that fight. I feel like at the end of that fight, I say this with every fight, my hand will be raised. I don't care if it's a knockout, whatever the case may be, but just coming, I'm coming for the knockout. But at the end of the day, my hand is raised.
Definitely, and you're coming for entertaining fights as well. I mean, that fight with
hmm
Santillan back and forth as well. Obviously, the welterweight division is freed up in recent months. Obviously, with Terence Crawford going up to super welterweight
Yeah,
as well. But how do you assess kind of the landscape at the moment with all the kind of belts fragmented? And kind of, it's the perfect time to be a welterweight at the moment.
yeah. Also, it's just a new generation of welterweights as well. All the Kell Brooks, Thurmans, Pacquiao, even though he was already old at the welterweight when he was in it. Errol Spence, even the Crawfords. So Danny Garcia, that whole generation is now either at 154 or they're gone. So it's time for us to make a new name for ourselves right now, and that's what we're doing.
Definitely as well. Obviously, as a fan of boxing, as a fan of yourself, Brian, as well. We all the news we want to go is when are you going to be next out? When do you think we can see you back in the ring?
Hopefully we can get back in sometime later on this year. That's the plan, that's the goal. And as you see, I love putting on a show, so come and watch.
Definitely as well, and obviously backed by Top Rank as well. I feel like obviously
Mhm.
speaking from the UK as well, Bob Arum, Top Rank, they kind of hold down boxing in the USA. I mean, how does it feel to kind of have
Mhm.
their backing as well?
That's the best feeling ever. So, even signing with them, I already knew for a fact the fact that I chose them, I was going to be a champion no matter what. They are simply the gateway key to getting to the top. They built the best prospects. They had the best champions. So I was only with them for a year, and look at me now. I'm already a champion. So I'm loving top rank.
Definitely as well. And Brian, we're smashing through my questions. Final one from me, mate. We ask everyone
Mhm.
who comes on the channel this. When all's said and done, what does boxing mean to you?
Boxing to me is like breathing. It's like life. Like I can't really explain it. It's just something. Every time I go into the gym, it's like I'm at the playground. I just go to get to have fun. I'm just everywhere. So to me, boxing is literally everything is life. I correlate everything outside of boxing, just like boxing. For example, if you want to get better with your jab, what you got to do? Focus on your jab. If you want to get better at let's say talking to people. This in life. Plain and simple, go talk to people. So boxing has taught me how to deal with life as well. So boxing means literally everything to me.
Definitely, I mean, Brian, that's one of the best answers to that question I've ever had, mate, as
Mhm.
well. Have you got any final words for the fans eagerly anticipating your return, mate?
I appreciate every last one of y'all waiting on my return, but just know I'm waiting on it as well, and I feel like I'm gonna be even better. Forget feel. I know for a fact I'm getting better and better as the fights goes on. So keep me active and keep me getting these knockouts and watch what I do. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely, we look forward to seeing it. Brian Norman Jr., the new WBO Welterweight World Champion. Thank you very much for your time today, mate. And yeah,
Thank you,
looking forward
boss
to seeing you
man.
next out.